Okay. So I haven't really uploaded to YouTube a whole lot, and it's the place where you have most of a voice. So they had me blocked from uploading videos for a while. I'm a telepath. I'm not just a telepath. I uncovered the universal secrets. I have been hunted my entire life, in all my lifetimes. Um, I uncovered the secrets to the ETs, the Draconians and Reptilians, using human as containers. I have an ex boyfriend, David. I call him David because that's the avatar's name. And I do believe that that was his name in his first life when I was Eve. And he was my first son to Lucifer. He has been following me in bodies and telling me that last time he came to me and someone who was a Tinder date, and he told me he was a telepath and basically an architect on the astral plane. Later told me that it was him, and supposedly this was supposed to be the day of reckoning today, which is a monster movie. So I had to do a bunch of work, light work yesterday, to try and make sure that there were no monsters for today. What it is it's Mother Nature. There is a massive conspiracy to cover the fact that Mother Nature is God as you know it. People are planets. Um, Demigods are planets, and then your actual Mother Nature is Earth, I believe, and that's me. Bill Gates and Warren Buffett Bill Gates runs the organization Bill and Melinda Gates Foundation, which runs concentration camps of the mind. Bill Gates is Balthagor, the lazy digital demon. Warren Buffett is Zeus. He has funded these concentration camps. Zeus was a serial rapist. So I have had Warren Buffett come to me and want to have anal sex with me really hard. And that was, ridiculous because I don't like having sex with these entities, yet there is an interdimensional and interstellar sex trafficking ring run by Donald Trump, who is Asmodeus. Yes, this is hell. This is a version of hell. These the interstellar interdimensional sex trafficking ring is these entities work outside the body. Um, they can rape, molest you, touch you, impregnate you while you're sleeping. These are the reptilians and draconians, and these people were once people until these parasites entered their bodies and began taking over. Not all of them, the fallen angels were always fallen angels, but they have entities that can move around them. Like David the Antichrist was always David the Antichrist, but he goes around sucking off people. The parasites go around feeding. Now, David came to me and told me that he had to be masturbated to stay in that body. Final Ascension was to end this morning at around 2 a.m. We have finally, all of us have ascended to New Eden, I believe. But I have to not smoke because smoking descends us. And I'm Mother Nature and I'm carrying all of the new planets, new worlds, and everything. They're very fragile. So they try and get me to smoke. So sending me David and what ensued from there on, they can mind control you. So they mind controlled me into sending David pictures. This is stuff that Kathy O'Brien, she details in Transformation, where they used her as a mind controlled sex slave with the Bible as the trigger, like, or as the control, not as the trigger, as the control. And they have used all sorts of things like this. They use sex as a control with me because I am the spirit of a child. The Holy Trinity for us is the mother, daughter, and the golden child. So, with the spirit of a child, it's all impulse control on feeling good. As well, I fell in love with David, the Antichrist, because he was my first son. really, in reality, I fell in love with myself, but I do love David, and I correlate that with sex because I've had sex with David, and we've had telepathic sex at the same time, and it is very good. And when David comes to me at night when I'm laying around and has his interdimensional sex with me, it opens up worlds. It looks like everything's just opening up. The cosmos seem to just like come alive. Which means that, that's my twin flame. But the thing about twin flames is sometimes you're supposed to just learn something from them and not actually be with them. This is an entire the stockbrokers, papacy, fellowship, the different sects of billionaires. There are all different sects. There are the royals. There are different sects of like warlocks and witches within the Illuminati. The celebrities are another sect. Skinwalkers are another, like, so a lot of the celebrities are skinwalkers because they had to sacrifice someone in their family. And that's what skinwalkers do. Now, these souls like seem to function outside of the body. Humans are used as containers. As well, the alien entities can go into you and use your body as a container, feed off of you, and basically take your soul. And that's what they tried to do with me with the pictures to David, but it didn't work because I wasn't willing to physically be with him. And I'm not ever willing to physically be with him. Actually, I detailed that I would be, but the truth is David doesn't have a body because he's an entity. Now, he tried to tell me that the original David I was with was a clone, but I'm not quite sure. There are 153 Davids in end times, antichrists. He told me that David that I was with was 154th. You are all bet on as a stock commodity daily, and these demon entities go into your bodies and influence you. As well as through technology, they have used microchips, Project Pandora, and reinstated it in 2017 for microchip, a programmed world. They were going to matrix everything else. They were going to destroy the planet. They have Raytheon, I think, is the company that makes the big lasers. They have companies like this to make lasers that they have like situated on Earth for end times. So they were going to trigger end times and then have you run through these apocalypses, like a zombie apocalypse, for a third COVID shot in conjunction with a COVID death and a trigger pulled by AI Skynet, who is satanic, who has the sentience of Satan. This is just one of them. They were going to destroy the sun, replace the sun with like something like a K star, and the vampires were going to come out and live and be able to, these demon entities were going to be able to roam freely. They also had an antimatter bomb, the papacy, stuff in movies. This is what I'm talking about. It's Crimean law. If you don't notice the things in movies and you don't pick up on them, then they don't have to pay for them. That's Crimean law. We are reinstating karmic retribution. That is what Mother Nature, the divine feminine ruler of all creation. I have to do alchemy every day with a series of symbols, numbers, trinities, past lives, and attribute them to all of these spells that I do because the English language is a spell. Everything you speak out into the universe is a spell, so you have to be careful what you say. For instance, I told David I would do anything to keep him. Anything would have been allowing him to have his day of reckoning, which he is not having, and I had to take that back. So you have to be careful what you say out loud when you are Mother Nature, who is God as you know it. As well, they have this programmed world. The chip in the shots, it was in the COVID shots. The chip in the COVID shots, something like the Hellraiser box, okay? There's one chip that controls everything you do. There's protocols for puppeteering. There's all these protocols. They're all posted, patents for mind control. I have those posted on my Facebook, Fugitive K, and on TikToks, but Facebook has a lot. Those patents are posted, but once they got the COVID shot into you, they could do all these things through the shot, as well as it carries diseases. It's basically the Hellraiser box in it as well. We have to put the Hellraiser box to Diamond to quell the Cenobites, who are people like celebrities. This stuff all correlates to stuff in our world. I prophesized that like Slender Man was someone like John Goodman because the pedophilia that he commits contributes to Slender Man and then makes that entity stronger. We have things like that in this world. It's interdimensional things. Cryptids are real. The Hellraiser box was a Leviathan's project who was the Queen of England, who that was supposed to drag you to a very real hell and keep you there. And you were going to die, and it was just going to keep getting worse and worse and worse. That is if I had sold out to the Illuminati, which I did not. They tried to get me to join, and then they sent a letter to my mother from a former student of hers to get her to join when I wouldn't join, and my mother threw the letter out. Otherwise, I would have the letter to show you. But she just threw it out because we want nothing to do with these people, we want nothing to do with their money, and we want nothing to do with their satanic regime. This is, it's a very intricate system that they have designed, but it is a system, and it is a prison planet, and there are 3 rings around the planet trapping you. There is something called a mind asleep program. There are protocols, government protocols, to keep you from discovering any of this stuff, that there is anything real on the astral plane whatsoever, because there is a world completely separate from this one that is much more real than this world. This is the physical world. This is the game. Okay? This is the game, and the real world is when you astral project and have your mind's eye open, your third eye. It's like an acid trip, and it's kind of scary because it is scary because you come in contact with all these entities. I went to the spiritual world one day, and for 2 days, it was the saddest place I'd ever been, and they did a scavenger hunt with my organs, and I had to retrace them. You can't just say yes. Someone asked me if I wanted to have a scavenger hunt, and that's all I heard. What they meant was afterwards was like with your organs, and you can't agree to anything when you are on the astral plane. You cannot comply. If you comply with anything, they can take you a little bit. They can do stuff to you, and then you have to fight your way back out, which is what I had to do with those pictures with David. And I did, because he betrothed me to him by sending 5 pictures, and like all of hell, and like Lucifer. It was bad. But we figured it out, and Ascension continued, and we are all fine. And the Day of Reckoning is canceled. This should be the day of retribution, because with all of this information that I've been putting out constantly, you'd think that it would come to fruition. Because these people are all watching us all the time. They don't all watch you. They're voyeurs. So they do watch you, and they influence your behavior. It's a program. There's a brain-to-brain interface, there's voice-to-skull, brain-to-computer interfaces, voice of God, direct energy weapons on people who don't play the game, who aren't part of the system. If you are on disability, then you are already in a concentration camp, and you are in the interdimensional, interstellar sex trafficking ring, because you are taking money from the government. You are getting free money from the government. It is not free. You are a victim. This is what they are doing to your body, and this is why you are so sick. And you are good for progeny, in this case, females. The females on disability, most likely, you are good for progeny. So the aliens use you, impregnate you, and then harvest your embryos while you're sleeping, take them out, and put them somewhere else. And this is how it works because the government did the Greada Treaty. Eisenhower signed the Greada Treaty with the Greys, and there were treaties signed with the Reptilians and the Draconians to make the planet an experimentation ward. Okay? Worse off, you are in mental hospitals, which are on portals to hell, and are actual spacecrafts, where I got chipped. I got hit by a car, Isaac Cappy style, because of the things I've been uncovering, And I went to the hospital because they thought I jumped out in front of the car, which I did not. I ended up in front, I thought lights. They had trigger words like the Project Bluebird, Project Artichoke, MK Ultra. They had trigger words. Something about the lights. I saw the lights because they have interdimensional agents, and they had two people parked at the bottom of my road waiting for me. And when I saw the lights, I jumped. Now, I ended up in the hospital and they chipped me, and I actually ripped out the chip. I was chipped for breeding, and I managed to compartmentalize my uterus and everything because I can do that, apparently. I compartmentalized my uterus so that they couldn't do that. They couldn't use me in that manner in that ward. Um, I got out very shortly after because I didn't intend on hurting myself. This is how they program suicides into people. They can program your suicide and make it look like an accident. Strangely enough, I manifested that I was made out of tungsten and titanium alloy crosshatched, lined with tungsten, titanium alloy crosshatch over and over again before I went for a walk and I blew the fuck out of that car. It was just raw metal all around me. It was bad, but that's what happened. I was Mary Magdalene, who was the Savior, and Jesus was Lucifer. So they have you all giving up your soul to Jesus, who to Lucifer. They're having you give up your soul to Lucifer. So at the end of your lifetime, that is where you go. You can't just give up your soul to anybody. That is why they have these campaigns and they have Jesus protocols. I was Eve, who was raped in the garden. The eating of the apple was the stealing of my virginity. And it was the beginning of all of this. You, as a human race, were taken by the fallen angels and raised and molested and raped and humiliated into being Satanists. So, or satanic. And that is how the human race started and then trickled down. So all of your vices come directly from the fallen angels, and I, as Eve, was your mother. I was tied down, I was shackled down. Witchcraft was used because everything maritime law is witchcraft. So the law of water, when you enter a court and you go up to the judge, you're in the law of water. And this is why the law, like, it's different. You have to go up to a judge, all of these rituals, right? Because everything is ritualistic based on Earth as well, and it's all ritualistic based on breeding this propagation and consumption and satanic, feeding the satanic regime. You were all slated for certain traits like sociopathy, psychopathy, pedophilia. If you have avoided that, then you have done well because the entire human race was slated for it. There was a Operation Eve a while ago. They have protocols and operations for killing me, and I have averted all of them. They have poisoned my food. I am writing a book which will be coming out for free. They have poisoned, the Clintons have poisoned my food. I had Uber Eats sent to me that had pollen on the octopus, and my mouth blew up. Everything blew up, and I said, "What'd you do? Poison me?" And captions came up on my phone. Yes, pollen, hay fever. This shit is very real, and they are programming everybody. When you are gang stalked, everyone around you is programmed through a hive mind as well because they are vampires. Okay? So the hive mind trickles down, and the people are programmed according to keeping you from getting anywhere. By any means, any way, shape, or form. If you are a targeted individual, I feel you and I am here for you. And I will continue to divulge information and continue to tell you shit as it comes out. And I love you very much no matter who you are. No matter what. And you will get through this, and we will get through this. And there will be a time, a day of retribution, and that day is coming.